Okay. You still want me to?
It's 9 o'clock on this Wednesday night. That means it's time for the Live Zone Primetime. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Producer Chris, and this is Mrs. Producer Chris. This is Molly. This is my wife joining me here at the top of the hour on this Christmas Eve. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Molly, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
I appreciate it very much. And look, we have to get to what's live, what's happening right now. And what's happening right now is St. Nick, jolly old St. Nick, making his way across the world this evening. You're taking a live look at the NORAD Santa tracker right now. And as you can see, he is making his way to North America, headed for Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada in just about 6 minutes. Last spotted over Greenland. So far, 5,300,000,000 gifts delivered. So he has been very busy over the course of the last 12 plus hours, Molly.
I hope he makes it to our house tonight.
Hopefully he will. And, you know, I said he has made his way to North America, so he should be making his way to the United States any minute now. In the meantime, we're going to get an update on the forecast, and it's looking pretty good for Santa coming up here with Jennifer Delgado in just a minute. In the meantime, though, I do want to head out to Northeast DC, because that is where Shamari Stone is tonight. People heading out to Mass on this Christmas Eve, the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, holding a vigil Mass tonight. Shamari joins us now live. Shamari, good evening. Merry Christmas Eve.
Good evening. Merry Christmas. It's nice to meet your wife. Nice to see you. You know, I'm here at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception for Christmas masses. It's Christmas Eve, and you have hundreds of people beginning just to go in here. Despite Mass starting around 10:30, they're coming in here early. They're praying. They're reflecting. They're thinking about the year of 2025 and what it meant to them, and plus, while celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. You can have the nativity scene. You have people in the pews, and Mass is supposed to start at 10:30. But for those of you who are concerned, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it tonight. Well, guess what? You still have tomorrow, Christmas Day, 7 a.m., 9:30 a.m. You also have 10:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. in the evening. But right now you have people again who are beginning to fill the pews. They are reflecting and taking time this Christmas Eve to also spend time with their family and friends here at the church.
And Shamari, you've got, you know, pretty nice weather for it out there. I mean, as far as Christmas Eve goes here in Washington, D.C., we spent most of the day in the 50s, so no issues for people heading out to church tonight.
That's a really good point, Chris. I tell you, you got people coming out here, and it's nice to see them not having to walk in raincoats or bring umbrellas here to this Catholic church. You have also people from around the world who have actually been here, in tourists who are here in the D.C. area, and they said, you know what, I wanted to take the time to come see this majestic church. It's absolutely beautiful inside. And it's nice, again, that they don't have to have bad weather. Can you imagine if it was snowing right now? Man, that would be tough for folks.
That would be tough for folks. All right. Shamari Stone live at the Basilica in Northeast Washington on this Christmas Eve. Shamari, you'll have a live report coming up at Fox 5 News at 10 coming up here in just about 57 minutes or so. And Shamari, I don't want to put you on blast in any way, shape, or form, but I was watching the 4 o'clock news earlier today, and I happened to notice that you mentioned to Sydney Persing that you still had a little shopping to do.
I do. But here's how I'm going to get around that. So I have my daughter, Carrie, and my son, Shamari Stone II, who's in town. I'm just going to give them cash. I'm like, look, guys, you're not getting any gifts. Here's cash. What's your Venmo? Because it's been a very, busy holiday season for me, especially with all the shows and work we do here at Fox 5. I'm working Christmas week, right?
Exactly. I understand entirely. Well, I'll let you go in case you need to try to sneak some last-minute shopping in the meantime. Shamari Stone, live in Northeast. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Shamari.
Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas. All right, we have made it to Christmas Eve. Like I said, Santa Claus making his way around Newfoundland. I mentioned that he's got good weather for it. I also mentioned to Shamari that it's not the worst night to head out for a late night mass. So let's bring in meteorologist Jennifer Delgado now. And Jennifer, we're going to give you the old, you know what?
Do I need a
You're gonna
microphone?
share
Oh, okay.
Molly's microphone
Okay.
because I have no doubt that people will be able to hear you. No sweat, if I'm
Okay,
being honest.
we'll hold
with
it
you.
here together. We'll share. Welcome, Mrs. Primetime.
Thank you.
Her name is Mrs. Primetime. Thank
Mrs.
you very
Primetime,
Yes,
that's right,
she
baby.
is not Fox 5 Live Zone. She's Mrs. Primetime.
That's right.
And when is the baby coming?
Next week.
Okay. Oh, I heard January the 1st. You guys already have plans for your New Year's.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Maybe.
Are you nervous?
If things go according to plan.
Okay.
Yeah, both.
Okay, both.
Both.
So, do you like doing the Live Zone?
This is my first time. I'm
Yeah.
totally out of my element.
Did he drag you into this?
No, this is really just our only way we could spend Christmas Eve together.
Yeah, she'd be home alone otherwise.
I'd be home
Yeah,
alone.
9
I'm
months pregnant.
TV
with-
is a
with
hard
our cat.
life.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. She is aware. She
Your firstborn.
knows our firstborn.
Your firstborn.
Exactly.
All right. So, the weather actually has been nice today. We had temperature 57 degrees.
Yeah, don't
and-
tell my mom, but I actually got to ride the motorcycle in.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. I mean, how
Aren't you supposed to be retiring that now?
Yeah.
He's got a
we
few
did.
more rides left.
Okay.
before she
A
comes,
few more
so.
rides.
Okay, that's all right till the baby comes. But so many people are excited. Let's pull up the Santa tracker again. This is the best part of Santa. And this is like, we track him too as meteorologists because we want to know what the weather is like and we get to see some of the things that are going on with Santa. And now we know he's moving through Greenland, so he's going to be making that southward track down to North America for us to see all the kids. And I think they're going to stop by your house too. I don't know what Chris told Santa you wanted, but hopefully
Oh boy.
something big and fabulous
Oh,
for you.
it's big this year.
It's big this
Yeah.
year. Everything's big this year for you. All right, so we see this. And we had Sharon on earlier today, and her daughter was on the air. I don't know if you guys saw her or not, but she was
did.
very excited about it. All right, so how is the weather looking? For us, we are going to be dry. It's very hard to find a white Christmas right now. You really have to go out to the west. The west is where all the madness is happening with the weather. They've had snow, but across parts of Los Angeles and California, they're going to be dealing with
Lot
a
of
flooding,
rain, yeah.
flooding threat, mudslides. So, a lot of people go to California to escape the cold. Apparently, they need to turn right back around and come back over here. All right, so we're going to do a little quick weather head, and we know for tomorrow, Christmas. Well, there's a chance we could see a few showers around. Nothing much. Still you're going to be able to go out there and have a good time. Much colder weather is on the way for Friday. So I don't know about you. Do you like to go out shop on Friday? You're probably not going to shop.
I'm done
You're
shopping.
done.
Yeah.
You're done with everything.
Feet are up. I'm done.
You're done with
Jennifer
everything.
is implying that she's going to have to go make a return after she sees what I got her, which is entirely possible.
You know what?
But it's going to be a
I
little.
know
You
you
can
are
make
not
the
going to
return.
disappoint
Yeah.
her, and you're not going to disappoint me, and she's going to love it because it's going to be big, and we love big gifts. All right, so let's move this ahead. So we know by Friday, though, we've got some problems for all the shoppers who are going to be heading out on Friday looking for the bargains. What we will see is the potential for a wintry mix. Now, as we move this ahead, we look outside. This is our camera out the National Harbor. 44 degrees is the temperature. It's really pretty comfortable. But I was out walking around earlier. Everything is closed.
Yes.
Very
true, which is why we just ordered some pizza.
Yes, the World of Beer is closed and the Barking Dog is closed. If the Barking Dog
The
is
barking dog
Yeah.
is closed.
closed, the
you
world
know.
might be coming
Time to
to
go
an end.
home.
Oh,
Yes.
goodness gracious.
We love it. Oh, look, Santa's making some more moves. He's turning around. Looks like he's heading to Happy Valley, Goose Bay. So for the kids there, get ready. Satellite and radar for us. Can't see Santa on the tracker right now, even though he's up in the northeast. But we do have a little bit of snow moving through Pennsylvania. And what we'll see for the weekend is really New York is going to get a round of snowfall looks on Friday. So travel day on Friday looks to be not ideal. Our planner for tonight, it keeps us dry. Rain risk 10 to 20%. We're going to be in the 30s, comfortable for Santa. But as we look ahead for tomorrow, we got this cold front. And that's because it comes through in this area of pressure. It's going to bring the chance for a few showers. Most areas are going to be dry, so don't let that ruin your plan. Go out and enjoy it. Here's your outlook for Christmas Eve. There's your low, 40 degrees, and then Christmas Day, 54. Areas really down towards the south are going to have the better chance for rainfall. But I got the future cast for you. This is 3 a.m. Santa's going to be around here about that time. You see how the showers share? They're going to be down towards the southwest, closer to Charlottesville, closer into Richmond. Then we go 9:30 in the morning, and things start to dry out. In the afternoon, we're going to go partly sunny, and we're going to start to clear things out from north to south. And tomorrow actually will be a nice day with those temperatures in the 50s. I'm getting too detailed. If I'm boring you, just let me know, Chris.
I have
And
to
sure.
fill 51 more minutes. So trust me,
so you're okay with it?
I'm okay with it.
I'm gonna go slow. So, and Sherry's like, yes, keep talking. And then, so we look at 11 a.m. on Friday. This is December 26th. Starting to see some of that mix setting up for parts of I-81. Then 4:30 in the afternoon, temperatures are going to be falling. And you see how we're getting this pink. That's a mix of some snow and some sleet. Maybe even a little bit of that freezing. Doesn't look like it's freezing rain, but definitely we're going to be looking at some icy roadways. This is 4:30, starting to see the snow across parts of Philadelphia. So if you want to travel, really, Thursday's a good day. Friday's just not a great day. Saturday, here's more of that snow. Look what happens.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, so we got snow from Scranton over toward 87, up towards parts of Connecticut. So
I'm going to bring us back on camera just for one second
do it.
where you were just showing. So just north of Scranton, if you go up a little more, north of Binghamton and just south of
Who's from there?
Syracuse, that's where Molly's family is from.
so. Yeah.
So,
I thought so.
unfortunately, while we're enjoying a warmer
So you are
than
used to
normal,
lake effect.
She is very
So did you
used
get
to
a
it.
lot of lake effect at your house, or were you like ones that missed it?
No, we did.
So how much snow did you usually get?
We'd get like 96 inches a year.
Oh, wow. So our little
Can
pitiful
you- I know,
snowfall here
exactly.
is
She
nothing.
misses it desperately. She's a cold-blooded person. I say that as both a
Yeah, I know she
human
doesn't miss
being and a New Yorker.
No, you don't miss it.
No, he doesn't mean that.
You don't
do
miss
that
it.
at all.
No.
You don't miss the snow, right?
Oh, no, she does.
I do. And when you came up to Syracuse last year in January, you said,
was great. I loved every
is this
second
what
of
it's
it."
like all the time? It just snows every day in the winter? And I
Sure
said,
does.
yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
And I would have to leave and go down south. I am not a snow. I like to visit snow, and I like snow like to come and like it to be pretty and white. But when it turns into like snert
And
Yeah.
then
like that-
leave.
Yeah.
the snow dirt,
Yeah.
I'm over it. So okay, so this is Saturday, 12:30. We look at the northeast, and then again, it's still going to be potentially snowing up until about 12:30. Allentown, that's where my nieces and my sister lives. There's not a lot in Allentown, but I heard there's a song by Billy Joel about
There
I
it.
was gonna
is,
sing
yeah.
every time we drive
I
by.
love it.
I've never heard it.
You really?
Never heard it. I just
Sing
hear
it,
people
Chris.
saying it.
Man.
All right, so let's look at the temperatures. While we've been warm and we go into your Friday, we're going to see those numbers dropping about 20 degrees. And then we're going to stay that way as we go all the way into your baby is born. So when your baby's coming here, it's going to be a cold weather baby. It's kind of
Okay.
fitting for a Syracuse girl.
That's fitting.
Yeah, that's totally fitting. Temperatures will be falling. It'll be breezy. Just, at least right now, we don't have any snow on the ground, so that would not be ideal.
No.
All right, so here's your weekend forecast. 42 on Saturday, 53 on Sunday, the last weekend of 2025. So did you guys make any, like, New Year's resolutions, or are you guys going to, like, you know?
Our New Year's resolution is to keep our baby alive.
I don't think that's going to be too hard.
And to, he's playing Allentown for you.
Oh, this is it?
Yep.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
go, let's go.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
gem.
that's on.
It's a gem.
Yeah.
So how about you? New Year's resolutions?
None.
All right.
Stay alive.
More hits on the live zone primetime.
We
Jennifer, thank you so much for spending
Oh,
some
are you
time
done
with
with
us
me?
on this Christmas
What
Eve.
if I had more?
Well, I assumed that you had
I
places.
have a
Well, we got to show
7-day.
this.
I
We
got
got to
a
show the
7-day I
7-day.
want to
Exactly.
show. All right, the 7-day forecast, 54 degrees on Thursday, but you can keep the music playing. On Friday, wintry mix. Of course, we'll be tracking that, but look how much we drop off, 38 degrees. And then New Year's Day, your baby's birthday, potentially, high of 42 degrees. Now, if the baby comes on Tuesday, highs only in the 30s.
All right.
And breezy. So if you guys can time this out.
If the roads are clear, we'll
Yeah,
be
that's
happy.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
right now it looks-
exactly what I was going to
not
say.
seeing
No
anything like
issues
that.
on the roads.
Yeah.
That
no
is the
issues
goal.
on the road. So.
All right,
Well,
safe
good.
driving to and from the hospital as I
Okay.
go 10 miles per hour with the blinkers on.
I know, like
for that
every
first
movie.
ride.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when you come home, right, you're like, oh, you can go to 10 miles per hour.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I'm passing this over to you. The
Thank
baton.
you.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to
Merry
meet
Christmas
you. Merry
Eve.
Okay, Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
All
Are you
right.
working tomorrow?
No,
He's
I won't
off.
be
Oh,
here.
good.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Are
So
you here
you
Friday?
will not see me.
He's
No, you
off
will not
for
see me
it.
till
No live
next
zone?
week. No live zone.
And then you're here Monday?
I'll be here Monday,
Okay.
Tuesday,
Unless the
and
baby
Christmas
gets-
Eve.
Unless the baby has different
unless the
plans.
baby has other
Have you been
plans.
eating eggplant and all that?
I've been eating dates.
Dates. What about eggplant?
I haven't heard
That
of
was not on
eggplant.
our list, I
Oh,
think.
eggplant is supposed to be
Raspberry leaf tea
And dates.
Eggplant? You don't know
No
what
one
that
saw.
is?
The doctor said eat dates.
Well, I'll
every
let
day.
you guys chat
Yeah.
offline. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to leave you with this live picture of the Santa tracker. When we come back, we're going to talk about how a lot of people across the DMV are going to spend their Christmas Day watching the Commanders Cowboys. Zach Parnes going to join us live. Coming up right after this as we leave you with a little Allentown, Santa making his way over New Brunswick, Canada. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Live Zone Primetime on this Christmas Eve, Wednesday night. Commanders fans, not exactly the Christmas gift you may have been hoping for. The Burgundy and Gold set to take on NFC East rival Dallas Cowboys tomorrow in a Christmas Day matchup. But unfortunately, neither team really has much to play for. The 4-11 Commanders have been eliminated from the playoffs. So have the 6-8 Cowboys, with not much on the line but pride and a draft pick, and their two top quarterbacks hurt. The Commanders plan to start 39-year-old Josh Johnson. It will be the journeyman's first start since the year 2021, but he did get a taste of the action last weekend, filling in for an injured Marcus Mariota against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Christmas Day Showdown kicking off at 1 tomorrow afternoon in Landover. For more on the matchup, sports reporter Zach Parnes joining us now live on the Live Zone Primetime. Zach, thanks so much, really, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, for spending Christmas Eve with us talking about the 4-11 Washington Commanders.
Hey, this is kind of a great present for me, though, Chris. You know, we're talking about starting my evening off with a Christmas story, then Elf, and now I get to talk Commanders. I mean, my goodness, that's like a nice holy trinity here that I think even Chris Kringle would be pretty proud of.
Well, I hate that. Well, I'm glad I was able to give you this gift. But look, I think it's safe to say, like I said, this matchup, not what the NFL had in mind, not what Netflix certainly had in mind, and really not what Commanders fans had in mind when it was announced before the season even began. So talk to me a little bit about what you have, what you are predicting, what you see for this game, and really what Commanders fans can even root for in this game.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, look, I know there's a lot of fans out there that want to see them lose this game so you earn a better draft pick, right? But you have to think a lot of these second string players who have now become primary forces for the Commanders because of just the absolute litany of injuries that this team has sustained, they now are playing for opportunities either within this franchise or in other spots within the National Football League. You talk about somebody like Bill Krosky-Merritt, right? Especially somebody like him, a rookie on this team who's had a lot of great opportunities, but really in his last 5 games hasn't had much of a pop. Had a pretty solid outing against the New York Giants and the Commanders' lone win in the last couple of months. But otherwise, we still haven't seen the full bag of tricks from Bill Krosky-Merritt in a long time. So I think there's something to play for there. Talk about the guys in the secondary, whether it's Harrison Jr. or then you're looking at Mikey Sainristil. You know, these guys that are maybe coming up on potential contract years, they're playing for those opportunities to be able to get good stuff in their goodie bag or under the Christmas tree, I should say, tomorrow morning. But ultimately, for me, Chris, this whole thing comes down to pride and an ability to rally around Dan Quinn and put together a great offensive game plan against a defense that has really struggled. I mean, Dallas is giving up the most points per drive in the NFL right now. Washington is the second most points per drive. So I expect this to be a high-scoring matchup, which will at least be something that should be good for the fans watching on Netflix tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, it's a very difficult situation for fans to be in, especially when you're just talking about how this squad had vastly different expectations for 2025 and now just seemingly falling short of every single one of those. But there's lots of chances here. Josh Johnson, for him to be able to get out there and get some good reps. If it doesn't go to plan for him, maybe next week this team starts to think about introducing backup Jeff Driscoll or maybe even emergency quarterback Sam Hartman, who I know a lot of fans would love to see out there. The young gun, formerly from the University of Notre Dame. I know people are all up in arms. Why are we not giving the kid the chance to start?
You led me right into my next question. Literally, for a Christmas Day game that is on Netflix, where a lot of people are sitting at home watching. Look, I'm just going to be blunt here. A lot of people like Sam Hartman, and it has nothing to do with his football acumen. So why would they skip over him, sign Jeff Driscoll? Obviously, he knows the system. He comes from the Cardinals. He played with Cliff Kingsbury. But why would they why would they pass over that opportunity? That would be like a literal gift to some of the fans out there.
Yeah, maybe it's because he's too handsome, Chris. I'll be totally honest with you. You know, that's the reputation that he gets. No, I think it's super disappointing for the former Irishman, but at the same time, you got to remember, like all these coaches, et cetera, they've had the opportunity to see him take reps kind of all season long. And when you're able to bring in a veteran like Josh Johnson, and already he is starting to stand out in a different kind of way, and you trust him leading the offense, that's just one of those things where you got to say, all right, these guys know a little bit more than we do. And ultimately, that's going with a 39-year-old over the much younger 24-year-old and Sam Hartman. A lot of people out there, that there's a lot of talk that like Hartman's really only a part of the team because he's close friends with Jaden Daniels. I don't really buy that as a potential narrative, but I do think that Johnson is probably more ready to be able to man a playbook on such short notice. Again, that could definitely change down the line, especially if Josh has a subpar performance. We saw him go out there against Philly, complete 5 passes, and unfortunately throw a pick in limited game time. But I think when you look at Johnson's acumen in terms of his ability to have great football IQ, I mean, that's something that Dan Quinn has talked about all week. Not only a veteran presence, but somebody that actually knows how to commandeer a lot of different offenses and execute a lot of different looks and read defenses perhaps a little bit better than Hartman, who last played again for Notre Dame back in his collegiate days. But yeah, Jeff Driscoll seems like a very kind of run-of-the-mill sign. You're talking about a 32-year-old who had a lot of experience out in Arizona, as you mentioned, with Cliff Kingsbury, but also just running a bunch of different playbooks himself. I think Washington is leaning on veteran leadership inside of the huddle from the offensive standpoint. Perhaps Hartman gets the chance to shine in those final 2 weeks, but it's definitely not coming this week unless there's significant injury to both Driscoll and Johnson.
All right, Zach. So I want to talk about some of the other matchups we're going to see. So we've got the Cowboys and Commanders at 1 o'clock. After that, we have the Lions and the Vikings also on Netflix. But then we have a third game, right? And I believe it's the Broncos and the Chiefs. The Chiefs already eliminated. The Lions and Vikings not necessarily living up to the potential that I think a lot of fans had expected. What are you looking forward to any one game in particular, and what should fans be paying attention to if they're watching these games on Christmas Day?
Yeah, I mean, clearly I have the bias to be able to say I'm still looking forward to watching the Commanders go out there, especially in what kind of is a primetime slot right after you're opening up presents and whatnot. You know, I feel like 4:30, maybe things start to die down a little bit. But I think that game is extraordinarily important for the Detroit Lions. You're talking about 11% chance to make the playoffs as projected by ESPN right now. So this is a win or go home kind of situation for them. And I know that Minnesota would absolutely love to play spoiler and knock out their division foes from having an opportunity to play deeper into the postseason. But this is a huge game, especially for Jared Goff, who really did not look his best in that first half against the Pittsburgh Steelers last week, then kind of turned it around to end up with 3 touchdowns, but still just falling short on that last play. The offensive pass interference from Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think fantasy football owners could expect to get a big week out of him this week. But I think Detroit is also worth looking at just because they have such great resolve. And ultimately, their defense is still one of the best in the National Football League when they are fully healthy. I mean, you look at Aiden Hutchinson, who has the potential to be a defensive MVP caliber kind of player for many years going forward. Always nice to see him in action. And I think ultimately, if they are able to stifle the Vikings, it might start to get fans really thinking, hey, does Detroit have a chance? Then in that late window, clearly, a very different dynamic here for the Kansas City Chiefs, not only without Patrick Mahomes, but also without Gardner Minshew right now. Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos offense is just humming. Cortland Sutton had like such an awful start to the beginning of the year. All of a sudden, he is really getting after it. Seemed like he was on Santa's naughty list to start things up. Now getting on the nice list side of things, he has had an absolute pop. I think Denver has a chance to go really far, maybe even make it to the Super Bowl. So if we're looking into that late window, that's a great reason to watch your night game right then and there, is the opportunity to see a great young quarterback in Bo Nix and how great that Denver defense is to Pat Surtain, who never gets the roses that he really deserves. I'm excited to see what Denver can put together against a division foe that they have fallen victim to too many years in the past. I have a feeling they're going to go full throttle, win by 10 plus.
All right, I'm going to throw a little curveball at you here, and we're going to talk about a little Snoop Dogg. Because last year we had the Beyonce Bowl. I mean, really putting the NFL on the map when it comes to Christmas Day. This year we got Snoop's Holiday Halftime Party, which I believe is also going to feature Lainey Wilson and the real singers behind the K-pop Demon Hunters. If you had to compare, though, the Beyonce Bowl and Snoop Dogg halftime, which one are you going for?
Look, Snoop is a legend, but I feel like Beyonce just has that hype, that energy. I went to one of her concerts in Los Angeles probably like 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
What an incredible performance. I mean, she's just an absolute entertainer through and through. You can tell why she is at the top of the charts constantly. And that's not only just from a songwriting perspective, it's also from a perspective of how great of a live performer she is. I still think Snoop's got some bag of tricks out there.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be able to, put together a great performance. But Chris, I kind of love how a lot of these games have really featured halftime shows as like like a cornerstone of things. I remember back on Thanksgiving, Jack White and the White Stripes doing an awesome job out there in Detroit. It just adds to the spectacle. This is an entertainment kind of day that people are leaning into, especially with the NFL starting to pump out more Christmas Day's matchup to kind of match the intensity that Thanksgiving gives over the years. I ultimately think it's so great for the game and just a different way to get like kind of a different subset of fans really involved in these kinds of performances that are not only athletic anymore. Although who knows, we may see Snoop maybe throw on some shoulder pads, go out there, run a 5-yard.
Listen, we've seen him coach before.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was a coach for his son for a long time, so we know he knows ball. Look, let me ask you another question. And I mean, look, Netflix knows how to put on a show. There's no question about that. And like we started off by saying, I think they expected when they booked these matchups that things would have gone a little bit differently. However, Christmas Day forever belonged to the NBA. Last year, the NFL and Netflix really kind of usurped that. With these matchups being what they are, do you still see the NFL dominating, or do you think those ratings might level out a little bit when it comes to the NBA and NFL this year?
I think they will level out, but ultimately the NFL is king in this country. For those who don't know, obviously the Super Bowl being probably the most watched event here outside of the FIFA World Cup final in the United States. But truthfully, I just think that people love the opportunity to sit around and have that kind of America culturalism around the game of football in particular. That being said, there are some great NBA matchups, especially in the morning. Those opening 2 games are really going to be absolutely fantastic. But I think that this kind of thing, there's still more football fans than pro basketball fans in this country. And for that reason and that reason alone, I'm leaning on the NFL to really generate some solid numbers on this, especially because Netflix has really managed to keep a lot of subscriptions too over time, even throughout a bunch of price hikes. They still seem to have a user base of over 100 million people. And because of that, I think that those numbers are just going to be absolutely monumental. That being said, those opening NBA games, they should be really great too. And I know that those NBA games mean so much to the teams that get the opportunity to play on Christmas. But there's still playoff implications for a number of these squads and ultimately draft implications, as you alluded to earlier, Chris. And I think that those things are really important for fan bases of teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, who will be outside of the postseason for the first time in a long time, the Minnesota Vikings, and clearly the Cowboys and Commanders. But also, I just think that first game is worth watching too, because Dallas has such an awesome high octane passing offense. When you talk about CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, and also George Pickens, who's just come into his own this year and is cementing himself as one of the elite wideouts in the National Football League, I still think there's going to be plenty of eyeballs, at least on that 1 o'clock game. Expect some more of it on the West Coast, clearly, for that AFC West matchup in the afternoon. And of course, Detroit always traveled well. I have a feeling that they will bring out their force in numbers, especially because it's that must-win scenario.
I don't want to keep you too much longer, and I don't want to sound like I'm just picking on the Dallas Cowboys by any means, but they obviously did not live up to the potential that a lot of people expected for them this year. What do you see? Trading Micah Parsons obviously was a huge thing for them, but what do they need? And again, anybody out there watching who is a fan of the Washington Commanders, forgive me, but what does Dallas really need? I mean, how long has it been, since they've made it to a Super Bowl or even really made it anywhere into, a postseason playoff run? What do they need to turn things around and to live up to the potential that people have had for not only the team, but also Dak Prescott?
Yeah, what's funny is that there was so much boo-hooing about this team in the beginning of the season. A lot of people kind of wondered, how good is their offense going to be? Now they're the #1 passing offense in football right now. Prescott looks like an MVP caliber player in a lot of different situations, but unfortunately with his team just not winning and them being unable to kind of close the gap in some of these closer games down the line, that has meant sort of the big difference for Dallas. I think going forward, they have to secure a first-round cornerback next year, no matter where they're picking. Clearly, acquiring the pick for Micah Parsons is going to go a long way, and Kenny Clark is great on the defensive line, but he is no Micah Parsons, who unfortunately is going to have a long road to recovery, bouncing back from his torn ACL. But I think if they start to lock up their secondary, they go after somebody either in the deep safety position or mainly a cornerback to play opposite to Trayvon Diggs, they're going to experience more success down the line. Also, kind of looking at a linebacker position for them, they really haven't had anyone too competent to run that kind of Mike spot for them since Leighton Vander Esch, quite frankly. And honestly, because of that, I think Dallas has to go all in on the defensive front. They drafted Tyler Booker in the first round last year to be able to give Dak Prescott some more protection and also make sure they had a certified run blocker. He's become one of the best run blocking guards in the National Football League this year. But I absolutely look at Dallas's playbook and I say they're executing offensively. They have George Pickens, who looks like a magician right now in that wide receiver 2 spot. CeeDee Lamb is consistently a top 5 wide receiver when he stays healthy. Jake Ferguson has shown himself to be great in blocking people off the line. And then they just have depth for days. I mean, honestly, more receivers than you got presents under the tree tomorrow morning. Cavante Turpin, John Mingo, a lot of playmakers that they have. So I think this offseason, for Dallas, it's securing somebody in the linebacker position, but especially in the secondary in today's NFL where teams are just passing at such an absurdly high rate, and especially in the NFC East where we're going to see more passing from Jaden Daniels in years to come, presumably from Jalen Hurts and company. And also Jackson Dart, hey, he's no chip off the old block either. The New York Giants look like they'll have some certified dogs going forward with Wan'Dale Robinson and Malik Neighbors being as young as they are too. So I think if Dallas wants to be able to contend, have to lock down a really great cornerback going forward, whether that's in free agency or the draft, and continue to build on what makes this offense really great. Because let's be honest, Prescott, Javonte Williams, they got it all right now on the offensive front.
All right, Zach, last but not least, besides all of the Christmas sports action, what else do you have planned for this holiday?
Man, I'm actually up in Ithaca, New York right now. You guys were talking about upstate earlier. It just keeps coming back to the show. Here we go. Not a whole lot of snow outside right now, but we're up here visiting my sister, which should be really great. Getting the opportunity to see this. She's a resident right now over at Cornell Veterinary Hospital. So really
nice.
great to be able to get up here and spend some time with her. So do that for a couple days. Come on back to the good old DMV and, just get ready for the new year and align some New Year's resolutions. Start hitting the gym again, with everybody else. And
you and me
until
both,
they start
buddy.
dropping off. Yeah, they'll start dropping off by like January 17 or so. But that's probably in my immediate playbook. And quite frankly, just be grateful for the time that we have here on this planet and just the opportunities that we get each and every day, whether it's with our friends and loved ones or, the opportunity to come on a show like this and talk about the great old game of football that keeps the world running here. So those are my immediate holiday plans. Chris, I'm sure you got some good ones too.
Yeah, just a shout out to Ithaca. That's where my wife and I got married. Her brother went to Cornell. She went to Syracuse, where I know you went as well.
Yes.
So you guys have a ton in common. I should have had her out here for this segment. You guys would have had more to talk about than I do. But Zach Parnes, thank you so much for spending some time with us here. If people want to follow you for more analysis in sports, where can they do it?
At ZParnes on Instagram, at ZParnes TV on Twitter. I'll be totally honest, though, I'm much more on Instagram. Shout out to all our upstate New Yorkers who are down in the DMV. Man, we're going to eat some chicken riggies for you, Why not?
I literally had that for lunch today because I made it over the weekend. That's what I love to hear. Go hit up the Green Arch in Cortland if you get the chance. It's mwah. Zach, thank you so much.
Baby.
Merry Christmas.
I'll be on the lookout for it. Merry Christmas to you, Chris. Take care.
We're going to head back out to NORAD's Santa tracker. Right now, Santa making his way over Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia. Actually, that's where he's headed. 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Last spotted over the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. We're going to leave this shot up here for just a second. We're also going to give you a little holiday greeting from some of our staff members here at Fox 5. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone.
Hi everyone. Jingle, jingle, merry, merry, happy holidays everyone. I wanted to say happy holidays to my family.
All my family and my friends.
I want to wish everyone out there.
I want to wish everyone a happy, happy holidays.
Merry Christmas! A wonderful holiday season and a happy, healthy new year.
Happy holidays, ho, ho, ho.
Filled with plenty of eggnog and rum.
Have fun, be merry, but don't be too merry.
Merry Christmas!
Happy Hanukkah.
And a happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Festivus for the rest of us.
Happy winter. Happy New Year.
Feliz Navidad y prospero año nuevo.
Joyeux Noël et bonne nouvelle année.
However you celebrate the holidays, I hope it is filled with peace, joy, and surrounded with the people that you love most.
From all of us at Fox 5.
To all our viewers out there,
We just want to thank you for watching Fox 5 and wish you all a Merry Christmas.
Without you all, nothing that we do matters.
Thank you for being the best part of Fox 5.
And thank you for making us part of your morning routine each and every day. We'll see you on Fox Local.
In the early days of the apocalypse, death was our most constant companion.
There is a house.
We had to draw lines. Who to let in, who to keep out.
They call the rising sun.
The thing about lines, though, sooner or later, someone is going to cross them.
The military attack on Homestead is imminent.
An attack by who?
'Cause God, I know they're raiding camps and taking slaves. Putting together some sort of army. They want the Homestead arsenal.
Mom, there's someone in the forest.
All right, so that was part of the trailer for the Angel Studios drama Homestead, the series. It's a post-apocalyptic, faith-based drama. And as you saw from that trailer, a little bit of firepower, Molly, but also, and you know, this is totally unrelated. I'll get back to this in a second, but those stripped down, slowed down versions of songs that they, you know, popular songs that they use in trailers, like it always hits hard.
I know that'll end up on your Spotify liked playlist.
Question. No question. If you ever watch the show Paradise, the whole soundtrack I was obsessed with and ended up adding to my Spotify list. Anyway, this show, Homestead the series, if you've never seen it, it actually stars a friend to Fox 5, one who has been a frequent guest on Good Day DC. We're talking about former Nashville and Outer Banks actor and singer, by the way, Charles Astin. Episode 7 of this show is out today. Before it came out, though, I got a chance to catch up with Charles to talk about the show, his music, the holidays, and much more. I want you to take a look. Catching up with Charles Astin is basically a Christmas tradition for us here at Fox 5 at this point. So first and foremost, how are you?
I'm fantastic. It's been one of my fondest traditions because, of course, I grew up in the old DMV. So to get to come back and speak with you guys, I'm not there right now, but I'm glad I get to use current technology and be with you on Zoom.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Part of the reason we usually check in with you around this time of year is because you usually have a homecoming show at the Birchmere. I know you don't this year, but you were just there on November 30th, wrapping up your tour. How was it?
It was fantastic. Generally, we go back and forth. Like, my wife gets Christmas with her family, and then I get Christmas with mine. So with the Birchmere, it goes Thanksgiving one year, Christmas the next. Next year will be right before Christmas or right after Christmas. So I'll make sure we get together again. But it's been an amazing year. I finished up about 2 years of touring with my Love Ain't Pretty album. And then this little blessing of this show called Homestead came along and opened up this adventure that I'm really enjoying.
That's the perfect segue. Let's go from Homecoming to Homestead. Can you talk to me a little bit about the show and your character, Kane?
It's really a special show, and they reached out to me, and I was able to look at the movie. There was a movie called Homestead, and Neil McDonough stars in it, along with Dawn Olivieri. She's fantastic. They're both wonderful. And it's about, the simplest way to say it is, preppers. There's folks all over the world right now that prep. Some live in a double wide trailer and they're going to be able to bow hunt for the rest of the time, and no matter what happens, they are settled. Others have a little more money and a little more property, and when you have that, I think some folks go, okay, I'm taken care of now, but what happened if it all goes sideways? So this is a husband and wife, a family that knew that their homestead would be a good place for such a time, so he prepared mightily for it, and you have everything in place, whether it's crops you can grow, water and solar energy and all the things that when the worst happens, you were prepared to protect a certain group of people. They did that. They did just as you should, and you would think that might be enough, but it's not enough, because when it all actually happens, if it happens, God forbid, it raises countless questions. Because, for instance, one of my favorites of the movies is there they are, and he knows just how long they can survive. They told all the folks how to get there. They brought some military people to help with security and all, so they're set. And then slowly down at their front gate, people start gathering. Now there's 20, now there's 40, now there's 80, now there's 100. And they go down near the gate, and there's people out there. They aren't just strangers, and no, they're not zombies from post-apocalypse. These are human beings. These are people that are saying, bro, we coached soccer together for 5 years. And yeah, they're probably the people that laughed at them too for doing all this. So what it does that I really love is it takes this otherworldly situation and it puts real humanity to it, including a faith-based element underneath it all, which I think is fantastic for this, because the question that goes throughout it all is, okay, maybe you can survive the worst, and after it's all gone down, you can survive, but can you survive with who you are intact? Your heart, your faith, your morality, the things you believe.
In the early days of the apocalypse, death was our most constant companion.
I'm not going to give anything away from the beginning, but my character comes in, second episode. They did not want to call Kane. Kane is the brother of our lead, Ian. That you can tell from they did not want to call this guy. Things just got so bad they figured they better. So Kane is a nickname, by the way, and if you know your Bible, it's not a flattering nickname.
Okay. That's exactly where I actually have written down here. Biblically, Cain was a little known for sibling rivalry, jealousy, and violence. So does that kind of play in a little bit here?
Absolutely. I think he was the black sheep of the family. The son, the older brother was the good one, the apple of dad's eye. And then Cain said, well, that spot's taken, so maybe I'll go somewhere and do other things. So there's a lot of danger to him. There's a lot of a mystery that you don't exactly know what he's going to do, but you do know what he thinks. He'll be honest about it. I've been very fortunate with these roles I've had with Deacon, who started off a little wild and definitely in recovery and trying to hold it all together. And because of Raina James on the show Nashville, he sort of had this incredible arc of processing all this pain that he'd grown up with and that his addictions had led him to. And then I get to play this guy Ward on the show Outer Banks. And Ward looks like the perfect, Ward from Leave It to Beaver, like some old 50s TV show. He's got it made. He's got all the money. He's got all the family. But underneath, he's hanging on tooth and nail and giving up all his morality just to make that money to stay a kook. And so that's why I really love this one. This one's a different one. From the word go, they call Cain. And Cain, he brings a lot with him, but he also there's a heart underneath there too that is trying to defend this homestead. Because finally, the last thing about it is, okay, there's darkness everywhere. If there's light here at the homestead, that's a beautiful thing. But what if you do things that are so bad to protect that light? Are you really light anymore? Are you any different than anybody? So there's a constant back and forth between Jenna, who has a heart and has her faith, and Kane, that just wants to get this thing done.
Well, speaking of faith, if you watch the trailer or if you've seen any episodes, on one hand, you've got faith, and on the other hand, you've got a lot of firepower. How do you kind of reconcile those two things?
Well, I think that's the beauty of it. To me, that's what makes it, is that it's much easier, I think, to have your faith when things are going well. When you got the heat's on and we got a couple cars in the garage and got a jacuzzi tub out back, you can maintain all those platitudes and say you were going to do things a certain way. But like I say, when it all goes off the rails, when the people have surrounded the homestead, and when there's others infiltrating, and when there's others that are giving away their items, so that's when it lifts it to. And that's the other thing I love about it. There's so much action on the show. There necessarily would be. When we did the show Nashville, frequently you had to look for it, because as exciting as Nashville is, there aren't helicopters coming down over there. There's not an army coming up over the ridge. That's what Homestead has. So we don't ever have to look for those things. They're natural with the situation. But what we do have that Homestead has, and they're my favorite part, is you go from a battle like that to a scene in a tent or in a field between two people that is small and real, authentic and dramatic and painful. So I love shows where you get the best of both of those. You want some action, you're going to get all the action you can take, but it's action towards towards a deeper meaning and towards deeper discussions.
So we're recording this on a Wednesday, and a new episode is out today. Then we have another new episode out Christmas Eve, and then the season 1 finale on Christmas Day. Can I get any sort of spoilers from you on what to expect over these next 3?
Well, our whole show, there's hints all along the way. I go back. It's really cool when you're in your final episode and something happens and you go, he said that in the first episode. And the writing is good in that way. I will say that Kane is an answer, but Kane is also a problem, like most humans, but maybe in the extreme. We'll see which one he ends up being the most.
Man, he can recruit. I can beat him. You can beat him. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing, Walt. I'm not sure you can.
You've got a very busy new year coming up as well, because you've got a new movie, Signing Tony Raymond, and you're heading out on tour for a Nashville reunion concert, right?
No, absolutely. I did this movie, Signing Tony Raymond. It was actually a couple of years ago, and they asked me to come in and be the coach on this thing, and I came in and enjoyed every bit of that. And I'm already in a lot of the trailers getting to see how great it's going to be. I didn't know. I knew only my portion of it. So I rode that very famous T.C. Williams Titans bench. I played on the team, but I didn't get out there much. But football is a passion, so this was a great show and a great movie to be a part of. I hope everybody enjoys it. But then, yeah, that Nashville reunion tour. Over the years, we've toured with some of my friends from the show, including up through the DMV. We played up at Wolf Trap one time, and that was amazing. And right now, we are getting ready to play not only at the Ryman Auditorium, which is very special because Ryman is the heart, in a sense, of Nashville. And it's actually where the very last scene of the show Nashville is. For those that haven't seen it, it's out on Netflix now. People are binging it all over. Please go ahead and binge Nashville. But we ended on that stage, so it's always been very important to us. So it's great that we're going to get to go back there, and then we're going to be in Greenville, South Carolina. And then most of February, we're over in the UK and Germany and even Zurich, Switzerland. The staying power of that show and of that music, nobody is more grateful or surprised than we are at how it just seems to grow. It's a bigger tour now. And I guess we finished in 18. So you do the math. That's 7, almost 8 years now. We're coming on 8 years. And yet the shows keep getting bigger wherever we go. So over there especially. So that's been a real amazing thing to get to be back with my Nashville friends and play that music.
All right, well, Charles, I appreciate you spending some time with us, especially ahead of the holidays. Happy holidays to you and your family, and we look forward to seeing you back here in the DMV soon.
I cannot wait. I thank you guys so much for always being so kind, and I want you to have a wonderful 2026.
Charles Esten is legitimately one of the nicest and best human beings on the planet. Just a heads up, if you want to catch those final 2 episodes of season 1 of Homestead the series, the second to last episode streaming right now on Angel, the season 1 finale tomorrow, Christmas Day, on Angel. So, he's the best.
So nice.
A couple other fun things. You know I love Remember the Titans.
Yep.
You know that's one of my favorite movies of all time. So getting to talk to somebody who went to T.C. Williams and played football there, I don't think he was a member of that team, but he pretty close,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest with you. He's 60 years old.
Wow,
I
he
know.
looks incredible.
He looks incredible. If only.
So handsome still. Wow.
All right, settle down. Settle down. All right, but also, so that Signing Tony Raymond movie that he's in, also Richard Sherman, Marshawn Lynch, and Brian Bosworth. Anyone who knows football knows those 3 names. Also in it, and I believe they also have a behind-the-scenes role as well. So like I said, you can catch that streaming now. But that's not the only new thing streaming this holiday week, all right? Because we also have Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2. They are rolling, they're doing what Netflix does, and they're rolling this out in batches.
At a time.
The first couple came out. I believe episodes 5, 6, and 7 are out tomorrow, Christmas Day. Episode 8 comes out New Year's Eve, 8 p.m. It is 2 hours and 8 minutes long.
Okay.
That is a feature-length movie at that point. And what they're doing as a result is they are also debuting it in movie theaters at the same time that it's streamed. So you can go see the finale, the series finale for Stranger Things. And look, people love this show. It's been on for it feels like 30 years now.
I think I'm caught up, but I don't remember what happened.
I do not remember what happened either. So we did not watch season 5 yet. We watched most of season 4 together. And then you watched the last episode without me. And I never watched the last episode of season 4 because we were watching it all together and then she cheated.
I don't think that sounds like me.
That is not something
that
couples
doesn't sound like
in
me.
relationships are supposed
It's
to
a cardinal
do.
sin in a
You know why?
relationship.
Because I think you went down to Florida. You were hanging out with your family and you guys watched it down there
It's
before I
hard
got
to wait
down
for
there.
you sometimes to get time to watch TV. We have to watch things separately a lot of times.
West
because
Virginia
of that.
Ben, if you're out there watching right now, jump in that YouTube comments section and be Team Chris. She betrayed me. But I have to I have to finish season 4, get caught up, remember what happened.
Season 5 together.
Then we can watch season 5.
Okay.
We'll have some time coming up.
We will. We will.
So,
I'm
all right.
keeping a list, so excited
that's
to hear what you have.
One thing. All right, if you're in the mood for a holiday movie, we've got Goodbye June. This is a new movie. What's interesting about this one is that it is the directorial debut of Kate Winslet. You also see the cast there. Toni Collette, Kate Winslet is in it, Andrea Riseborough, and Helen Mirren. Now, only watch this if you are emotionally stable enough to also watch The Family Stone.
So
because,
not me.
yes, not you. I was specifically putting that caveat out there because it has a similar theme to it. And if you've seen The Family Stone, you know what I am talking about.
Dagger in the heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. If that's not your speed, we also have Members Only Palm Beach. This is also on Netflix. So these last 3 all on Netflix. This is a new reality show. And literally just looking at the poster, I think you can tell what this one is about. It is about pretty women probably stabbing each other in the back, just like every other reality show out there. Members Only Palm Beach, it pulls back the velvet curtain on one of America's most exclusive social ecosystems, capturing the quiet power plays, inherited status, and unspoken rules that govern Palm Beach County's elite.
No thanks. I'll stay
Not
out
up
of
your
that.
alley. You know what it reminds me of?
I'd like to watch the drama.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of what I think happened is that somebody out there watched the show Palm Royale with Kristen Wiig and all those other superstars, and we're like, let's make a reality show out of this.
Is that not Palm? Oh, that's Palm Springs.
What?
This is Palm Beach.
No,
It's
that's
Palm Royale.
Palm Royale is Palm Beach.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's not
Well, I
Palm-
thought it was something
it's
different.
not California.
Well, I thought it was.
No, it's in Florida.
Okay.
There you go. She learned
He knows
something new
everything.
today.
Yeah.
I don't know everything per se. All right. Well, it's 9:56 and 30 seconds, and I've run out of topics to talk about. So what we're going to do is we're going to take you back out to NORAD's Santa tracker as Santa is headed for Santiago de Cuba. Cuba, 2 minutes and 22 seconds away. He just left the Dominican Republic. So David Betancourt, if you are watching out there, he just left the Dominican Republic. He and I talk about that sometimes. So that's
that was
why.
our only vacation this year.
It was, you're right.
Was the Dominican.
Hot damn.
I don't know if we're going to get any next year. I hope
boy.
so.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Well, in the meantime, we're going to leave you with this Santa tracker as we sign off for the last time before Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve to everyone out there watching. We're going to go home. We're going to eat some pizza, and we're going to read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas by Clement C. Moore. We'll probably watch a holiday classic like Bernard and the Genie, which I know Molly can't wait to watch. Okay, so actually, real quick, before we go, I'm going to change this real fast. Stand by. Box 1 goes to 701, and there we go. All right, so there we go. We still got the Santa tracker up. Now you've got Molly and you've got Chris. There was a story we did earlier today, and it listed the most hated Christmas movies of all time.
I'm not going to say that one.
I know you're not going to.
I know how much you love it.
Number 1 was Home Alone 3, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Trying to replace Macaulay
No.
Culkin. It can't be done. That poor kid, he never stood a chance. Number 2, I just want to make sure I get this right. Stand by.
I remember your favorite was on the list. One of your
my
favorites.
All right, number 2, stand by. Close second was Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which surprised me because I thought that was pretty beloved these days. Obviously, when it came out, people immediately compared it to the original cartoon with Boris Karloff. But it's a Ron Howard movie.
Iconic.
It's kitschy.
It's a cult
classic. It's a cult classic these days. There was recently just an oral history about it. And not only Ron Howard, but also the producers, Brian Grazer, they all said that Jim Carrey deserved an Oscar nomination for what he brought to
I
that role.
read something that said he had to work with like a Navy SEAL
That
who
was very
trained
well
in-
known when that movie came out, in torture, because he hated the process of getting into the makeup, and especially the contact lenses that he wore, the yellow eyes that covered his entire eyeball. Coming in third place was the Polar Express, which I don't think you've ever seen, but it was one of those first real experiments with like computer generated imagery. It's a little bit soulless, but a lot of Tom Hanks, which I love. Arnold Schwarzenegger's holiday classic, Jingle All the Way, also making the list. I love it for what it is. It's stupid, but it's fun. Christmas with the Cranks rounded out the top 5, and Fred Claus took the number 6 spot. I hate that. I love that movie. Justice for Fred Claus is my rallying cry. In the meantime, that's not Fred, that's Santa. He's making his way to Havana, Cuba. Thank you to everyone who joined us tonight and spent their Christmas Eve watching us. Thank you, Molly, for coming in and hanging out with me while I had to work. Everyone have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you back on Monday. No show tomorrow night or Friday. It's Christmas Eve in Washington, as they say.